Well, the Yankees are in good shape as we approach the time when, according to the baseball axiom, the team in first place on the 4th of July is the team that is supposed to be there when the last game of the season has been played. That is held true in more cases than not. However, it is not something on which you can always bet all of your possessions. But it's a nice place to be any time, and the Yankees are substantially better off than they were a year ago at this time and look to be really coming on as of right now. With the lineups being exchanged, let's take a look and see what the batting orders will be. For the Detroit Tigers, Eddie Yost leads off at third base. Frank Bowling at second. Charlie Maxwell will be in left field. Cash at first base. Colavito in right. Al Kaline in center. Chico Fernandez at shortstop. Red Wilson catching and Don Mossy pitching. For the Yanks, Richardson at second. Lopez in left. Maris in right field. Mantle in center. Skowron first base. McDougald at third. Elson Howard will catch. Cletus Boyer will be at shortstop as Tony Kubek rides the bench as we start this doubleheader. And Curley will pitch. No need to tell you that the Yankees have taken the field as that roar goes up. Stengel and Dykes exchange a few words at home plate before breaking up, and now we'll all rise for our national anthem. In the American League, Kansas City at Boston just getting underway. Chicago and Baltimore likewise just starting. Cleveland and Washington have gone 4 innings. And at the end of 4, it's all tied up 1-1. National League, the Giants and Phillies. Phillies won last night, making Tom Sheehan's woes a little more woeful. The Phils and the Giants at the end of 2. San Francisco leads 1-0. Los Angeles playing at Pittsburgh. That's just starting. Cincinnati at Chicago and Milwaukee at St. Louis. Games that will start later. Following today's ball game, the Yankees move down to Washington. They'll play a single game there tomorrow afternoon. Eddie Yost for the Detroit Tigers moves into the batter's box as plate umpire Bill McKinley gives home plate the whisk broom treatment. And Bob Turley is set, and we're about set for the first pitch of the ball game at 2 minutes after 2. Turley's first pitch comes in a fastball for a called strike. Fred Barber is handling the play-by-play description of the first part of today's ball game. And we'll be picking the redhead up in just a moment. Here is the next pitch. Swung on and fouled back up the screen. Strike 2. Red. Bill McKinley is back at the plate. Jim Wanachek at first. Nestor Charlock at second. John Stevens is the third base umpire. The Yankee infield is Skowron, Richardson, Boyer, and McDougald. The outfield is the same as it has been recently. This tremendous surge the Yankees let loose starting early in June. Lopez, Mantle, and Maris. Curveball is outside for a strike. Howard is catching. The Yankees have 4 starters in the All-Star game by the election of players in the league. Berra, Skowron, Maris, and Mantle. 1-2 pitch. Curveball. Call strike 3. Boy, catch that one. Yost was about to straighten up, keep from getting hit on the hands, and the ball just carried around over. Frank Bowling hitting at 243. Outfield is one step toward left. The Yankees really won one heroically. They came as close to getting beat just as they could and still pulled it out. They had 2 men out in the last half of the 9th inning. Got 3 runs to win it. And I was over in the Detroit dugout for a while, and I very carefully didn't bring up anything about yesterday. And I'll guarantee you that none of them volunteered anything about yesterday either. Fastball is over for a strike, 1-1. You know, when you think about it, great as it is to win one like that, the Yankees, of course, were just ecstatic, single after games. That's the first one like that in a year and a half that we snatched back. It is equally painful for the ball club that loses it. 1-1 pitch, fastball fouled off. I had a pregame television show to do over in the Detroit dugout, so I was over there half an hour before the show, and Dykes was sitting over there in the dugout. I walked in, and he nodded. We've been friends a long time. I nodded right back, and that's all the conversation we had. That's how you end a broadcasting career, you know. I'd gone in and said, "Hey, Jimmy, wasn't that a game yesterday, huh?" 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 man out, Frank Bowling, slender right-hand hitter, one of the top second basemen in the league. Curly pitches, called strike 3. Threw a slider right over the outside hand, high. Boom. That was a power pitch. So, the first 2 fellas, I looked at third one, and here's old Pawpaw, Charlie Maxwell. They call him old Pawpaw because his hometown is Pawpaw, Michigan. Standing right up on that plate, the left-hand batter, hitting 211. But he's the power man for them. The last time that the Tigers beat the Yankees ball game, he hit a home run off Duran to win it at Detroit, if you'll recall. Pitch is inside, ball 1. See, it's a beautiful July afternoon, and we've got a fine crowd here. Change of pace is high outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 men down, nobody on. Curly has struck out the first 2 batters. That's the story of the ball game. Up to here. They play Maxwell around toward right. Fastball is outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Charlie ready. Curly behind now, 3-0. Delivers low inside, ball 4. Maxwell drops the bat and trots out to first base. So Charlie starts out with 2 strikeouts, now comes up with a base on balls. And Norman Cash getting in. Cash hitting 273. Steps out. Left-hand hitter. Curveball is in there for a strike. It's the fellow they got from the White Sox. Well, they didn't get him from the White Sox. Cleveland got him from the White Sox, and they got him from Cleveland. Traded Steve Demeter to the Indians for him. Change of pace is low inside, ball 1. 1-1. Cash started out in pro ball in 55 at Waterloo. Was with the White Sox part of 13 games in 58, hit 250. Last year, hit 240 in 58 games with Chicago. He's more than closed his stance. Swings and fouls the ball back. Strike 2. 1-2.
One ball, two strikes. Maxwell at first base on balls, 2 out, no score. We have a breeze that is pleasant and strong and blowing from right field toward left. Big Turley steps off the rubber. Maxwell, the runner, steps back on. Now Bob is ready. Pitches. A curve just outside, and it is ball 2. Turley thought he had the third strike. Started to step off the mound toward the dugout. McInnes says, nope, outside. All right, 2-2. Cash swinging from the end. He's not a big fellow, but he's very steadily built. He gives the impression of strength. Somebody over in the Yankee dugout is kidding Applin. I just saw him turn over and grin. Of course, Luke grins all the time. Cash takes strike 3. Call. That was a fastball in there. And Charlie strikes out the side. So at the end of half an inning, it is Detroit nothing as we start the big afternoon, and the Yankees coming in for their first lick.
Stop to think about the little things that add up to having a good day. Things like a bright, sunny morning, hot coffee, toast, done the way you like it. And when you hop in your car and you want the engine to start right up, to idle smoothly, to give good performance while you're on the go. Many times it's the little things that keep an engine running at its best, like a clean carburetor. Today's Atlantic Imperial gasoline is especially designed to clean your carburetor as you drive and keep it clean. A clean carburetor means smoother performance and greater gasoline economy. Make every day a good day. Start off with Atlantic Imperial gasoline and keep your car on the go. Bobby Richardson, Hector Lopez, and Mickey Mantle, or Roger Maris, rather. Now, as we look around the big ballpark, we see some of those areas up in the extreme right and left field corners filling up rather rapidly. So while the ballpark is not capacity, you would not find a variety of good seats available. Let's put it that way. You might have to sit behind a post or two, and even those seats, the way the crowd still keeps coming in, may be filled up. Now, this will come close to being the largest crowd of the season. Pitching to Bobby Richardson. Takes low, ball 1. The Yankees have made a change in deference to the left-handed pitching Mossy. Bench Kubek put McDougal at short. And Boyer, or rather McDougal at third. There is a pop-up, a Cash in foul ground at the moment. Makes the catch. Kubek is out, and they have 2 right-handed swingers on the left side of the infield, McDougal and Boyer. Here is Hector Lopez and Red Barber. Outfield shades him a step toward left. He's got his forward foot right up against the plate and his back foot drawn back of him. Pitches on the outside. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Don Mossy, left-hander. Deals. Curveball is low inside, and it is ball 2. Mossy is very much a brunette. Pitches. Low inside, ball 3. 3-0. I don't think the Don was exactly
overawed by that last decision. You can see pitchers wince, you know. 3-0 pitch in there for the strike. I think Hank Bauer put it the most graphically when he's talking about a close call going against the pitcher. He was sitting up in the stands with us one day down in spring training camp, and he says, "Look at that old pitcher Fume. He thought that was a strike." And pitchers won't strike. The 3-1 pitch, low inside, ball 4. So Lopez walks. And he's on with 1 out, last of the first inning, no score, and here's Roger Maris. Listen to that hand. Roger Maris hitting at .329. 25 home runs, 64 RBIs. He's the starting right fielder for the American League All-Star. Curve is over. Strike 1. This year, as last year, the players in the league voted for those who would start, the stats and the pitchers. And the only stipulation was you could not vote for anybody on your own squad, which meant that Maris got no Yankee votes. There was no stuff in the ballot box. He was elected to start by the players of the 7 other teams in the league. That means that the other players in the league regard him as the best right fielder in the league. Same thing for Mantle in center, Minoso in left, Scowen at first base. A surprise, I think, was Runnels. The players elected him, and Boston, and this rookie shortstop at Baltimore, Hanson. See, that must be meaningful to him. And the third baseman, Malzone. That's no surprise. And Mr. Berra is still, by the vote of his opposing players, the top catcher. Maris swings and hits a high fly ball out into short center field. The second baseman is moving under it. He has it. The ball was hung up there long enough. He is the second baseman of the shortstop. Make an easy play of it. Now we have 2 down, and here's Mantle. Mickey hitting .269. Batting right-handed against Mossy. Outfield deep, well around front left on Mantle. House coaching at first base. Crizzetti at third. The Detroit infield is Cash at first, Bowling at second. Fernandez, who is doing a great job as a short, and the veteran third baseman Eddie Yost. Don Mossy pitches, and Mantle fouls it back on the screen. The catcher is Wilson, who drove in 3 runs yesterday. Out in left field is Charlie Maxwell. Center fielder, K-Line. And the right fielder is the Bronx boy who had 4 hits yesterday. Looks like he's about ready to get off the reservation, Rocco Calavito. All right, no score. 2 down. Lopez at first. Mossy pitches a curve just outside, and it is ball 1. 1-1. Don sort of thought he had that. And apparently there's a yip that comes out of the Detroit bench, probably from Dyke, because McKinley, the plate umpire, turns over to the Detroit bench and points to the outside of the plate, meaning the pitch was wide. Fastball swung on. It was up around the hand. One ball, 2 strikes. That was a decided change of pace for Mossy, who had been working with curves, and suddenly he let that one loose. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cash holding first against Lopez. The pitch swung on and lined in the center field for a base hit. Lopez goes down to second and holds on K-Line's arm. The throw in is cut off at short. So Mantle gets the first hit of the game, a line single to center. And the Moose comes up to the plate. Just when it looks as though all was gone yesterday in the 9th inning with 2 men out, the Yankees trailing by 2. Up comes Mr. Scowen and busts a home run. McDougal followed with a triple. Richardson followed with a single. Ditmar pinch hit a double. And DeMaestri got his first hit of the Yankee, a single, and the tournament was over. Yankees at first and second. 2 men out. No score. Last of the first inning, first of 2 games. Lopez starts to walk off second base. Bowling, the second baseman, broke in, and Mantle hollered at Lopez. Look out. The mighty Moose up there hitting .316, and he's hit safely in his last 7. Takes slider low inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Now 2 around toward left. Left-hander delivers, and it's a curve low inside, ball 2. 2-0. Monty being a little bit more deliberate now. Infield is back. 2 men gone. Lopez steps up second. Mantle has a long lead with the first baseman deep at first. Moxie checks second, pitches. Skowron swings, hits the ball toward the right field corner. It is foul. It was in there, but just the wrong side of the foul pole. You know, when Skowron hits the ball, it goes just as far in any direction. You don't have to pull it. You knew that one had more than enough distance, but you had to wait because it was going right down the line. The Moose was apprehensive about it staying fair, too, because you could see he started to run and then hesitated and ran another step. And well, so 2 balls, 1 strike. Skowron sets that powerful figure. Moxie delivers, and Skowron hits a line drive foul right back of the first base coach, Ralph House. Boy, he's hit that ball hard toward right twice. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No score. Well, Moxie has certainly been warned about pitching outside the Skowron. Of course, his first 2 pitches, he tried to pitch him low inside. And ball 1, ball 2. You can always get that ball just where you want it. Now, let's see. Moxie is set. Head bob, checks the runner, the pitch. Skowron swings and fouls it back and knocks the mask off of Wilson to catch it. Tore it off of his head. Listen, don't think those foul balls don't jar you. Prevent you getting a black eye, a broken nose, missing some teeth. Cracking sinus, but it does not minimize the impact. I've heard catchers and plate umpires say that these foul tips just like a fella hits you in the face with his fist. The jaw. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes still. 2 outs. Moxie delivers, and Skowron swinging hits a high foul out of play back at first base. All right, 2-2. Ready with another apple. John comes set. Runners take their lead. The pitch is swung on, foul back. Still 2-2. Nothing else. Skowron is making Moxie work. Still 2-2. Left-hander ready. ready. He delivers. Change of pace, swung on and line into left center field for a base hit. Lopez is around third, coming in to score. Mantle goes to third base, and Sharon holds it first with a solid single, and it's 8 straight games for him. Well, that's 8 straight for the Moose. It's now 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. Massey came down with a change of pace, and Sharon properly straightened it out. Joe McDougal, who went into pinch hit yesterday and came up with a double to right center. And then when the Yankees were run behind and 2 out in the last of the 9th inning, triple to deep left center. This is the first start for McDougal since June 6th when young Boyer got in there and became just simply sensational. Set square stands. Swing to the curve, hits it in the right field corner. It is a base hit. Here's Hamlin in the score, and it's a ground rule double. The ball is touched by a fan down in the corner. So McDougal has really come back to work with a vengeance. It is now 2-0 in favor of the Yankees. He'll double down the right field corner. Sharon, on the ground rules, is held to third base. Mantle, of course, has scored. Hank Agari is in the bullpen. The left-hander who pitched to one man and walked him without throwing a strike in the jam yesterday. So Mantle has scored. The Yankees are now ahead 2-0. There's Elston Howard. Howard hitting .253. And they're going to put him on at first base. Delivered base on balls is now forthcoming. Which means they'll put him at first and pitch to Boyer. There's ball 3. All of them purposely wide. And ball 4. So Howard is on. Cletus Boyer, who has been the third baseman, is now starting at shortstop today, hitting .218. The Yankees are leading 2-0. The first of a doubleheader. First inning of it. 3 on, Boyer up. He deals, and it's a curve in there for a strike. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch is outside. Good hard. 1-1. Strike, 2 down. The Yankees have got 2 in the bank. So they have man Turley to work on. He's trying to get more right here at the start. There's a ground ball to third. And he gets through Yost. Everybody is safe, and another run is in. The ground ball right at the third baseman. And Yost is charged with an error. It is no run batted in. So E5 is scoring. So everything is happening to the Tigers now. It is 3-0 in favor of the Yankees, and the pitch above Curley is coming up. The third run is not earned, and any other runs that may be scored in this inning cannot be earned. Only 2 can be, the first 2. Well, single turned to a pitcher, Ditmar, and he pinch hit a double yesterday. Coach is hitting .344, and I imagine Turley's up there with a base hit on his mind. If he could get it, it would make his afternoon much more pleasant, work easier. He swings at the curveball, strike 1. By the way, Ditmar is going to be the starting pitcher in the second game. Nothing in 1. He's ready. Charlie swings and hits a high fly ball out to left field. Where Charlie Maxwell is camped under it. The left fielder waiting. He's got it.
3 runs are in. 9 men bat, 3 men are left. There were 3 hits. There was 1 error, and the error cost the 3rd run. Score at the end of the first inning, the Yankees 3 and the Tigers nothing. First of a doubleheader at Washington. At the end of 6 innings, it is Cleveland 5 and Washington 1. Held and Keene have hit home runs for the Indians, and Lemon has hit his 19th for Washington. Perry is pitching this for Cleveland. In the National League, at the end of 3.5 innings at Philadelphia, San Francisco 5, Philadelphia nothing. No score end of an inning and a half, Los Angeles at Pittsburgh. Cincinnati is ready to start at Chicago, the same to Milwaukee at St. Louis. Well, here's quite a fair bit. Calavito hitting .252. He had 4 singles yesterday. Right-hand batter. Goes through his limbering up calisthenics, as you know. 3-0 favor New York. And there's a bounce ball over the mound. Curly jumps, can't get it. In comes Richardson and makes the throw and gets him at first base. That ball was dying on the pitching side of second base, and Richardson came in. He'd been playing deep. Grabbed the ball, threw across his chest without any waste of time, and just snipped him. One up, one away. And the hitter is Kaline, batting .234. Outfield a step toward left. Curly's fastball is outside. Ball 1. The knees on the outside. 1-1. Curly has won his last 5. Now 5-1. Ditmar, starting in the second game, has won his last 4. Fastball swung on, bounced over the mound, and Boyer comes up with it at short, throws to first, and gets him. Listen, you've had 2 base hits in a row. That these young men, first Richardson and now Boyer, have taken away from the Tigers. Yes, sir. Now we have Chico Fernandez hitting .259 and giving them a great job at shortstop. They got him during the weather from Philadelphia. Outfield straight away. Not too deep. Swings and bounces the ball to Boyer, who has to short hop it. There's a throw over to first in time. Now not. What a fast infield. The crowd letting out with a big roar of approval. And the score at the end of an inning and a half, the Yankees 3 and the Tigers nothing.
Buenos dias, senor. You are El Atlantic dealer?
Yes, sir. I'm an Atlantic dealer. Can I help you?
I am Luis San Domingo Cordova, greatest bullfighter in all the world. But never have I known a bull to snort like this automobile.
Snorts, huh? What make of car is it?
Taurus.
Well, maybe Taurus. Maybe your car has a dirty carburetor.
El carburador, senor?
Yes. When a carburetor gets dirty, it can cause rough engine performance and waste gasoline.
Muy malo, senor.
But now we can fix that with Atlantic Imperial gasoline. It cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Muy bueno, senor. And this Atlantic Imperial, it works fast?
Fast as you can say ole. Like to try it?
See, it is time to take the bull by the horn. The car's performance is almost as smooth as one of my own. If this were a bull, I would award Atlantic both ears and the tail. Atlantic keeps the car on the go.
The last of the second inning, it'll be Richardson, Lopez, and Maris. Robbie Singles, you remember, knocked in the tying run last night. That projected the string through 7 straight. And the Yankees are really hot. Oh, they're on their way. You can just tell. They're feeling they're just going to take it away from everybody. Bobby swings on what looks to be a screwball. It broke down, strike 1. Nothing New York here in the first one.
He swings at the high foul, close over by the Vistas dugout. Let's see, Wilson coming back to catch her. And, he dives right on in. But he does not stay with it. Well, he's rugged. Boy, that rail in front of the box seat didn't mean anything to him. And I tell you one thing, whoever built that railing really constructed it. Well, he used to back up the line, for Wisconsin. All right, no balls, 2 strikes. Marcy deals high, and it is ball 1, high and outside. Left-hand pitches, and there's a base hit, a line single into left center. That's 8 straight games for Bobby. Takes his turn at first and holds on as K-Line retrieves the ball, throws it in. So Richardson, a whistling line drive to left center. Boy, this Yankee ball club's on fire. And here is Hector Lopez. He walked in the first inning. And then the 2 men out, Mantle single, Sharon single, McDougal double. Howard walked and Tim and Howard at third. Lopez sets. Cash holding first base against Richardson. Mossy pitches, and Lopez bunts up toward first base. Cash fields it, throws to the second baseman. Bowling covering just in time, and they sacrifice Bobby neatly right on over. Lopez laid down a well-not perfect bunt. Now we have Roger Maris, who popped up to second in the first inning. Outfield toward right. Left-hand hitter. Don Marcy, left-handed pitcher, delivers, and Maris swinging, hits a high foul ball. Wilson is charging back. He's getting under it, close to the stands, and he has it. So Maris fouls out. 2 men gone. And the hitter is Mantle, who got the first hit of the game. And line single to center in the first inning. He's got his average up now above 270. Massey taking a long time to read the sign because the sign will have to be given in a sequence. The runner, Richardson, second base, can see it as well as the pitcher. Curve is high outside, ball 1. No strike. Yankees leading 3-0. Now the Detroit left-hander deals, and Mickey swings and grounds it down to third. He'll find a stop by Yoshi, but he can't recover in time to throw, so it's a base hit. He knocked the ball down just inside the foul line, deep back to third, but could not recover for the throw. So it is a single for Mantle, giving 2-2. Richardson moves over to third base. 5 hits for New York. And here's Cowan, who singled to knock in the first run in the first inning. The Yankees leading 3-0 and going for more. That's his deep. 2 steps around toward left. Score 3-0 New York. We got Yankees at first and third. 2 out, second inning, first game. Sharon hits a high fly ball to deep right. Televido is under it. coming in now as the wind catches it, makes the catch. That's all for the Beard. No runs, 2 hits. And at the end of 2 innings, it's the Yankees 3 runs, 5 hits to no errors. And the Tigers, no runs, no hits, and 1 error.
A clean carburetor gives smoother driving performance, so use new Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean.
Now we have Wilson first up. As we move into the 3rd inning, the big catcher drove in 3 yesterday. Wilson hits .243 right now. The Yankees on top 3-0. Curly deals. High outside ball 2. 2-0. No strike. Pitch is in there for the strike. This is the last time the Yankees will be here until they return with the White Sox Friday night, July 22. That's a big weekend. Friday night game, Saturday afternoon, July 23, and a doubleheader Sunday, July 24. Ground ball hit short. Boyer over to first, and Wilson's out. And here's Mossy coming up to hit for himself. Cleveland will come in on the heels of the White Sox for Tuesday night, July 26th, and a doubleheader Wednesday, July 27th, and a night game, which your schedule does not show, Thursday, July 28th. That's because of that Sunday Raynaud doubleheader, you'll recollect. Pitch is high outside, ball 1. Back from July 22 through August 4th, 2 weeks, the Yankees will be home solidly at that time. 21 open day in there now. Swung on, ground down to short. It bounces high, but Boyer jumps up towards the first. Boyer's reflexes are amazing. The ball was hit sharply, and he was charging it in to play it on the routine hop, and suddenly the ball acted as though it had kangaroo blood in it. It took a great big hop, and Boyer, without hesitating, I don't see how he did it, he just went right on up in the air and pulled it down. Well, he's thrown out 4 straight men. Now, we have 2 up and 2 down, and the hitter is Yost. Eddie is remarkable for his eyes and his ability to get a base on balls. The fellow who drew the most walks, of course, is Babe Ruth, 2,056. Ted Williams at the start of this year was second with 1,943. I don't know how many he's gotten this year, but he's gotten some. There's a fastball inside the hip. Mellott was third with 1,708, and Yost stands fourth all time with 1,547. Gehrig is fifth, 1,510. 1-0 pitch is swung on and grounded foul outside third. It made the third base coach Billy Hitchcock move. But I would contend that Yost's record is much more remarkable than that of the other 4 because they were all sluggers. Ruth, Williams, Ott, Gehrig, and of course a great many of their walks they just didn't want to pitch to him. But nobody has been not wanting to pitch to Yost. He's had to earn his. 1-1 pitch, go outside, ball 2. I know that when Eddie Sankey set the National League record for the most walks in a season, he worked to do that. He had to work to get the walk. I know he would just go up there and take 2 strikes and then foul off pitches and has a high foul ball deep back at third. Let's see. It's coming out of play into the stand. I know that it got so in the league with Sankey that the pitchers bitterly resented walking him. And they'd do anything in the world they could not to walk him. And he still set the record, 148 for that league. Of course, the record for the most walks in the season set by Ruth, of course. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Ruth's record total for 1 year on bases on balls was 170. All right, 3-2. Actually, when you pick up a set of statistics, you've got to interpret them. 3-2 pitch swung on as a high fly ball deep out to left field. Lopez is going back close to the wall, and he climbs it, but he can't catch it. He can't catch it. It's a home run. Yost got it in the left field seats, and this is the first hit off Kelly on the first run, and it's now a 3-1 ball game. And Lopez made a desperate attempt. He went over and leaped. He timed it, but the ball was too high. Well, here we go. So Detroit starts answering back. Now we have Frank Bowling. Took the third strike in the first inning. Takes the slow curve over for a call strike. Nothing in one. Big Curly deals. Curve swung on. The ball hit down the left field line, and it is so foul. But that's wide the distance. Well. Nothing in two. No ball, 2 strikes. 2 down. High inside curve is ball 1. 1 and 2. Curve, go outside. Ball 2. Fastball is rounded down to third. The McDougal snaps the throw over to the Moose. And that's the side. 1 run, 1 hit. Yost home run, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings. The Yankees 3 and the Tigers 1. Gil McDougal just hitting away. Doubled in the first inning. He had a pinch hit double and a 9th inning triple yesterday. Takes the curve in for a strike. Well, we've got the news for you that just come in about the disposition that will have to be made of Friday night's game that was rained out here. Remember when it rained all afternoon and evening? No chance to play it. Monty pitches. McDougal swings and lines the ball into the left field corner for a clean single. Well. I guess Gil is just telling everybody that he didn't like it on the bench. He's 4 for 5 since he got let loose. Detroit comes in here for a night game on Monday, August the 1st, an afternoon game on Tuesday, August the 2nd, and a night game on Wednesday, August the 3rd. So here's Howard. Curve inside ball 1. So Friday night's rained-out game has got to be put in on Tuesday night, August the 2nd. So there'll be the regular afternoon game, then as a metallic peppered ball game, there'll be a night game. So what that series will be, the 1st of August, is 3 night games and an afternoon game. Howard swings, hits the ball out to left field to Charlie Maxwell, who makes the grab, and we have 1 out. So, you got that all straight? If you have a schedule, just simply add to it a night game Tuesday with Detroit, August the 2nd. So there'll be 4 ball games that will not, this is not a doubleheader on the 2nd. It's an afternoon game at 2 p.m. and a night game at 8. 2 separate admissions. And here's Boyer, hit a ground ball in the first inning that Yost erred on. That led in the 3rd run for the Yankees. They lead 3-1. He checks his runner, pitches, and Boyer hits a fly ball out close to the right field line. Calavito is sighting it. He's under it. He has it. Now we have 2 down, and the pitch is Turley. Emerging from the Yankee dugout. Marching up toward the plate. Gets his bat from the on-deck hitter who was out there for him, Richardson. Bob gets a big hand. Turley swings at the high fly that the third baseman is under. And York makes the catch, and that's it. No runs, 1 hit. So the totals at the end of 3 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for New York. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error for Detroit. Now we've got Mr. Rizzuto moving in here. Back there in the second inning, you saw a little infielding, didn't you? Oh, that kid Boyer just looks like any place you put him, he can do the job. That goes with all the Yankee ball players. Charlie Paw Maxwell, who walked in the first inning, leading off for Detroit here in the top of the 4th, with New York leading 3-1.
WOKO, Albany.
This is around at his outfield. Now swings into the windup. The pitch to Maxwell is hit on the ground to the right side. Scarron's up with it. Flips underhand to Turley covering. In time to retire Maxwell. It's 1 away. Brings up Norm Cash, who was called out on strikes in the first inning. On deck, Rocky Colavito. Nobody on, top of the 4th. Yankees 3, Detroit 1. Left-hand hitting first baseman Norm Cash ready. Takes the pitch low, ball 1. Turley's 1-0 delivery is low inside, ball 2, 2-0. Cash reaches down for some dirt. Bob Turley out on the mound. He's won his last 5 straight games. The 2-0 pitch, high outside, ball 3. Howard rubs up the ball before firing it back to Turley. Yogi Berra sitting out the first game. Turley takes that big deep breath before releasing the pitch. Here's a 3-0 delivery. A tie for ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Turley, and here's Rocky Colavito. Rocky was thrown out on a fine fielding play by Bobby Richardson in the second inning. He tapped one over Turley's head. And Bobby coming in on the dead run threw across his body as only he can, just nipping Colavito. Rocky argued a little bit on the play. Ran into Rocky's brother Dominic outside the ballpark. And he's built even more powerfully than Colavito, who is quite a ball player in his own right and had quite an influence on Rocky. Leading off first, Scarron holding him on. Here's the stretch by Turley. Pops in the air in short right field. Richardson's moving back for it. Under it, and he's got it 2 away. Colavito trying to go to the opposite field. Here's Al Kaline, who was thrown out on a nice play by Cletus Boyer in the second inning. Boyer playing shortstop in place of Tony Kubek today. And this is the first game that Kubek has not started all year. Kubek is the only Yankee ball player who has been in every game up till today. 2 out, 3-1 the Yankees lead. Pitch to Kaline is a curve over, strike 1 call. Beautiful changeup curveball. Kaline came into this game batting .234.
Shirley sets. Fastball is low. Gets by Howard. There goes Cash down to second base. That ball hit in the dirt in front of Howard. It's a wild pitch charged to Bob Shirley. Cash advances to second base. A 1-1 count on Al Kaline. And it looked like Bob tried to put a little extra on that fastball and got away from him. Al Kaline has a lifetime batting average of .311 up till this year. That's why every time we look at that batting average of the 230s, it's hard to believe. Here's Shirley's pitch. Curveball, line to left field, a base hit. Here comes Cash around third, and Lopez's throw comes into second base. It's a 3-2 ball game. So the wild pitch was costly to Charlie, letting Cash get in scoring position down at second base, and then he hung a high curveball to Kaline, and he ripped the single to left field. For Kaline, his 29th run batted in on the air. It's a 3-2 ball game. With 2 out, the batter Chico Fernandez, who bounced to the shortstop in the second inning. On deck, Red Wilson. Kaline leading off first. There goes Kaline, the pitch high inside, to throw to second. Kaline is hung up. He goes back to first, and he's tagged out. That play going from 2 to 4 to 3. Kaline went halfway down. Howard's throw had him beat, so Kaline tried to get back to first, but Richardson's throw to Scarron put the tag on him for Detroit in the top of the 4th inning. 1 run on 1 base hit. No Yankee errors and nobody left to score at the end of 3.5 innings. The Yankees 3, the Tigers 2. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Bobby Richardson, leading off for the 3rd time in the ball game, will be the batter. Bobby popped to first and single to center field. Richardson has now hit in 8 consecutive ball games, as has Bill Scarron. Marcy's curveball is popped to center field. Al Kaline moving in under it and makes the catch, 1 away. Brings up Hector Lopez, who has not been up officially as yet. He walked in the 1st inning and scored, and sacrificed successfully in the 2nd inning. One out, nobody on. 3-2, the Yankees lead the Tigers. Pitch to Lopez. Fastball, line to left center field, a base hit. Kaline digging fast over to his right. Up with the Lopez around first, starts for second, and then starts back. And the throw is too late. Hector was well on his way to going. Suddenly realized he couldn't make it. He should have seen him put on the brakes and start back. It looked like he was running in one spot for about 10 seconds, but he made it. Up Roger Maris, who is 0 for 2. Popped to second base, fouled out to the catcher. 1 away. Lopez leads off first. The pitch is a curve over, strike 1 call. Yankees have 7 base hits off Don Marcy. The left-hander stretches. Once again, the stretch position by Marcy. Pitch is hit on the ground at second base, falling up with it over to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. And that was a fine play by Frank Bowling on a wicked hop. They got Lopez, but they couldn't get Maris. And here comes Mickey Mantle. With Maris at first and 2 out, Mantle is 2 for 2, single to center. Scored in the 1st inning and beat out an infield single in the 2nd. Pitch to Mickey is just outside ball 1. On deck, Bill Scarron. Go to first base. Maris back in plenty of time. Mantle, dries off his hands. Holding that bat right down on the end, batting right-handed. Change up outside. Ball 2-0. With a short lead off first base. 2-0 pitch is over. Strike one. Looked like a screwball. Wasn't thrown up there too fast. 2-1 on Mantle. The 2-1 pitch is popped foul and going out of play. Cash chasing it to the box piece, but it goes back about 5 or 6 rows. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mickey Mantle, the batter. Who holds a 12-9 lifetime edge over New York. Got a 5-5 record this year. Here's the stretch by the left-hander. The 2-2 pitch is outside, ball 3. Full count on Mickey, so Maris will be off. 2 men out and 3-2 on the batter. Yankees 3, Detroit 2, here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ready now for the payoff pitch to Mickey. Here it is, and it's strike 3 swinging. Went after a high curveball. For New York in the bottom of the 4th inning, no runs on 1 base hit. No Detroit errors and 1 man left. The score at the end of 4th inning. New York 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Detroit 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. We pause for station identification.
WOKO, Albany, 327.
Right now, I'd like to mention that the second half of this game is being brought to you by Ballantine Ale. The only ale that gives you the big taste that comes from Brewers Gold. Here's Chico Fernandez, who was at bat when Al Kaline was picked off attempting to steal. To end the top of the 4th, Fernandez bounced to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. Right-hand hitting shortstop. McDougal in at 3rd. Here's the pitch by Shirley. It's line to left field, a base hit. Lopez over to his right, up with it. Fernandez is on with a line single to left. That's hit number 3 off Shirley. And it brings up the catcher, Red Wilson, who was thrown out by Boyer in the 3rd inning. At one time, Boyer had 4 consecutive assists. Yankees 3, Detroit 2. We're on the top of the 5th inning. By Charlie, and then he steps off the mound, keeping an eye on Fernandez, who has 6 stolen bases this year. Tops for the Tigers in that department. Here's the stretch. The pitch is fouled. No, it gets away from Howard. There goes Fernandez to 2nd. He's around 2nd. Wait a minute now. Wilson says he didn't foul the ball. Here comes Jimmy Dykes. Elston Howard went after the ball as though it did not foul. Ellie thought that it was a pass ball, started to charge back. Fernandez was going to 3rd base. And then Ellie suddenly stopped as plate umpire Bill McKinley said it was a foul ball, and Jimmy Dykes is out there arguing with McKinley. And Red Wilson is saying he did not foul the ball. And look at Dykes. And you can see why Dykes is mad after losing that ball game yesterday. Things have been going against him. And Dykes is pointing to Howard, and you can see what he's saying. Howard didn't think it was a foul ball. How come you did? Red Wilson and Jimmy Dykes are jaw to jaw with Bill McKinley. And they're going to lose this argument, that's for sure. It looked like a foul tip until Howard threw off his mask and started to charge back after the ball. And then as Ellie got halfway down, and I think he put Dykes out of the game. It looked like McKinley waved Jimmy Dykes out of the ball game. And they are really arguing down there. And McKinley is pointing to the dugout for Jimmy Dykes. As soon as we get word on whether Dykes was thrown out or not, we'll let you know. Now it looks like Jimmy's still in the game. He's standing on the top step of the dugout. But we'll wait and see. It's a strike on Red Wilson. A little bit of a rhubarb here on a very unusual play. We haven't seen that very often. Fairly into the stretch position. Then steps off the mound. They're trying to get Fernandez to commit himself. A lot of the fans yelling balk, but anytime the pitcher steps back off the mound, he's not in any trouble. Once again, Charlie gets set. The pitch is popped in the air outside of third. McDougal moving over near the stands, and he can't quite get it. He got it! Holy cow, what a catch! Gil McDougal was leaning on the rail with his stomach, both feet off the ground, parallel to the ground. And we saw a lot of fans stick their hands up and then never saw the ball, and it looked like Gil couldn't possibly have gotten it. But he came out of there with third base umpire John Stevens right on his neck, and he saw that Gil had made the catch. Wilson is out of there. A fine play by McDougal. One away. Brings up the pitcher, Don Marcy, who bounced to the shortstop in the third inning. Now McDougal comes in, looking for the possible sacrifice. Scarron's holding first against Chico. Here's the stretch by Charlie. Charlie steps off the rubber again, and Marcy steps out of the batter's box. Charlie ready again. Pitch is bunted. A good one. Scarron is up with it. Runs to first base for the unassisted putout. Going down to second base, Chico Fernandez. And that time, if Scarron was charging in, he could have caught that ball on a fly. Usually when Moose is expecting a bunt, he comes charging in. The ball was bunted in the air. Took one hop. The Moose picked it up. Steps on the bag. Moving to second, Fernandez. The tying run at second base. And here's Eddie Yost, who struck out and homered. His fourth homer of the year and his 14th run batted in. Last year, his first with Detroit, Yost got off to a tremendous start. He had about 15, 16 homers this time of the year. Fernandez leads off second. Curly set. Curve is a little bit low, ball one. The Yankees started out this ball game just the way they left off yesterday. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth to win it. They scored 3 times in the bottom of the first. But since then, Marcy has settled down. New York leads 3-2 here in the top of the fifth. Pitch, high inside, ball 2, 2-0. Is on deck. Boyer cutting in back of Fernandez, and Charlie steps off the rubber so that Cletus can get back to his position. Another stretch by Charlie. Richardson bluffing Fernandez back at second. 2-0 pitch is a curve outside, ball 3. 3-0. Stretches. The 3-0 pitch, high inside, ball 4. And Eddie Oates gets his 70th walk of the year. 70 based on balls this year for Eddie Oates. And he's always amongst the league leaders, if not leading the league in base on balls year after year. Yost is at first, Fernandez is at second. Frank Bowling, who struck out and bounced to third, the batter. On deck, Charlie Maxwell. Charlie into his stretch position. Pitch to Bowling is a curve, swung at and missed, strike 1. Charlie goes back to the rosin bag. Mantle not playing too deep in center, nor is Maris in right. Lopez fairly deep in left field. And the infield playing way back. Charlie looks back at Fernandez. Another curve is hit deep to left field. Way back there, Lopez going, and it's a home run for Bowling. Frank Bowling hits a 3-run homer with 2 out, and Detroit takes the lead 5-3. For Bowling, his 5th home of the year, and it gives him a total of 30 runs batted in this year. Bob Shirley looking a little dejected out on the mound. Charlie Maxwell, who walked and bounced to first, the batter. Pitch to Maxwell is popped to short center field. Rather, the shortstop Boyer had trouble in the sun. He makes the catch. Cletus started back. He hit that right off the end of his bat. Then had to field it kind of sideways with the sun right in his eyes. So Detroit bounces back with 3 big runs here in the top of the 5th. On 2 base hits, no Yankee errors, and nobody left. The score at the end of 4.5 innings, Detroit 5 and the Yankees 3. There's a baseball cap and a glove lying out on the field. Nobody's moving out there to get it. Chico Fernandez is not out at his position, so it's probably there. It's Chico's hat and glove. Now he picks it up on the way out to his position. Bill Skowron, who singled and fly to right field, leads off for New York here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now the Yankees are 2 runs behind. Skowron has an 8-game hitting streak going. Pitch to the Moose is in there, strike 1 call. Yankees had Marcy on the ropes in the first inning. 1 more base hit and he might have been out of there. As 9 men went to bat, and they scored 3 times, but he settled down. There's a curve foul at the plate, strike 2. And 2 on Skowron. The pitch inside, ball 1. On deck, Gil McDougall. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch, curve fouled out of play. whether I have to give Bob Delaney another error or not. I'll have to check over there with the official score. All right, Marcy into the windup. Pitch is fouled back out of play. One ball, two strikes. Pitch is a little low. Ball 2-2-2. Turns around to rub up the ball. He's thrown a lot of pitches to the Moose in the 3 times that Skowron has been to the plate. The 2-2 pitch, curve hit to left field. Maxwell moving under it, and he's got it. Skowron hit the ball right on the nose. Couldn't get it up in the air enough. Skowron only needs one more homer to have 100. Major League home run. One away. Gil McDougall, who doubled and singled. Gil has driven in 1 run. And it looks like the rest has helped Gil. He's been hitting the ball hard in pinch hitting roles, and today starting. First pitch to McDougall is in there, strike 1 call. Strike pitch, low outside, ball 1. This is Gil's first start since June the 6th. Elston Howard on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, curve, strike 3, swinging. McDougall goes down on strikes. That's the second strikeout for Morrissey in the ball game. Got Mantle in the 4th inning. Here's Elston Howard, who walked and flied to left field. Detroit 5, the Yankees 3. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Morrissey's pitch is low, ball 1. Pitch is hit high in the air to left center field. Kaline going back under it and has it for out number 3. And the Yankees go down 1-2-3 for the first time in the ball game against Marcy. Nothing across in the bottom of the 5th. The score at the end of 5 full innings: Detroit 5 and the Yankees 3. Norm Cash, who walked in the 4th inning and scored, struck out in the 1st inning, leading off here in the top of the 6th. Detroit leading this ball game 5-3. Fairley's pitch is low, ball 1. Another big ball game to go here at Yankee Stadium. Fairley flips the ball into McKinley, who looks it over, finds nothing wrong with it, and throws it back to Bob. Norm Cash had asked the umpire to look at it. Nothing pitch, outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0 delivery. A foul back in the upper deck out of play. balls, 1 strike. Curley swings into the windup. Fastball pops foul. Howard chasing it, but that ball is coming back on the screen and out of play. 2-2 on Norm Cash. Curley's 2-2 pitch, curveball, line to right center field. Merritt's going, and it's off the wall. Cash thought it was a home run and had started to trot, and has to go fast to get into second base. Norm Cash thought that ball was a home run, and the ball just missed going into the bleachers, hitting off the auxiliary scoreboard in right center field. Maybe it was the way Maris played the ball, or maybe Cash thought he hit it higher than he actually did. But he started into his home run trot down to first base and then suddenly realized he had a seam into second. For Cash's 7th double of the year. Brings up Rocky Colavito. Bounce to second and pops to second. Detroit 5, New York 3, top of the 6th. Curley's pitch, side-on fastball, pops up in the air to the right side. Richardson back. Maris coming in. Richardson calling for it. And he's got it. And all 3 times, Colavito has hit to the second baseman. 1 grounder, 2 fly balls. Here's Al Kaline. Bounce to short, single to left. Has driven in 1 run. Out to the mound, talking with Curley. Bobby Shantz and Johnny Gabler are up in the Yankee bullpen. Curley ready for his first pitch to Kaline. Fastball is low, ball 1. Strikes on Kaline. Cash leads off second. The pitch is popped in the air to short left field. Hector Lopez is moving in under it. He's got it. That's 2-way. Brings up Chico Fernandez. Bounce to short, single to left. He scored in the 5th inning. He was on base when Frank Bowling hit the 3-run homer. Eddie Yost homered in the 3rd inning. 5-3, Detroit leads. 2 out. Cash down at second. And it's a ball. Curley started to deliver the pitch, and it slipped out of his hand. Boy, that's the first time we've seen that in long, long time. He had kicked his left leg and was ready to deliver the pitch when it slipped out of his hand and rolled about 6 feet in back of the mound. Cash moved to third on the balk. Now Curley will pitch with his windup motion. McDougal taking no chances, not playing too deep at third. Slow curve is over, strike 1 call. Chico's a pretty good butter. Curley into the windup. Another slow curve outside. The ball 1-1-1. Elston Howard bluffs the throw back to third. 2 outs. Fastball is lined to center field. Mickey Mantle right there. Makes the catch. Ball hit right on the nose, but right at Mickey. For Detroit in the top of the 6th. No runs on 1 hit. No Yankee errors. 1 man left. The score at the end of 5.5 innings. Detroit 5 and the Yankees 3.
It's got that big taste. Oh, that's Valentine's Ale with Brewer's Gold.
Next time you're in the mood to enjoy good food, enjoy it even more with a refreshing glass of Valentine Ale. More than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. Valentine Ale has a big, big taste that really goes over big with food. A big, big taste that comes from Brewer's Gold. Try Valentine Ale with any meal. See what a difference an ale makes.
Oh, that's Valentine's.
It's the genuine
Ale with Brewer's Gold.
Of the 6th inning, Cletus Boyer, due to lead off for the Yankees, took a little bit of time coming out of the dugout. Thought for a minute that Casey might be pinch hitting for him. Boyer reached on an error in the 1st inning and flied to right field in the 3rd. The Yankees trailing by 2, 5-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Curley due to be the next hitter, but we have action in the Yankee bullpen. Don Mossy out on the mound. The left-hander swings into the windup. Pitch to Boyer. It's a curved foul down the left field line out of play. Strike 1. The 1-strike pitch is fouled in the upper deck and back of first base. Strike 2. Nothing in 2 on Boyer. A windup and the fastball is inside. Almost hit him. Ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out and nobody on. Here's the pitch. It's lined to left center field. A base hit, maybe extra bases. Maxwell backhands the ball, and Boyer's on with a long single to left center field. Maxwell got over there real fast to keep that ball from going up the alley for 2 and possibly 3 bases. That's hit number 8 off Mossy, and let's see who's coming out. Bob Cerv is coming out to bat for Curley. Batting .253, has 3 doubles, a triple, 8 homers, and 21 runs batted in. He's been getting on base as a pinch hitter lately. Base on balls, base hits. Boy, his serve is really built like an old oak tree, I'll tell you. He is solid. Fullback he'd have made in football. Cash holds first against Boyer. Here's the stretch. The pitch to serve is outside, ball 1. The stretch by the left-hander. Pitch is over. Strike called, 1-1. deck, Bobby Richardson. Marcy kicking around out on the mound. Pitches up his belt. Stretches. The pitch is a curve, a little bit high, ball 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Boyer leads off first. Here's the stretch. Pitch is high, ball 3-1. And Mossey's walking in off the mound, and Wilson not too happy with the call. McKinley motions that the pitch was high. Detroit bench getting on McKinley a little bit. 3 balls, 1 strike. 5-3, the Tigers lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Marcy looks in for the sign from Wilson. There goes Boyer. The pitch is swung and a miss. The throw to second. And he's safe at second. The ball goes into center field. Boyer goes to third. That'll be a stolen base and an error. A stolen base for Cletus Boyer and an error on the throw by Red Wilson, allowing Boyer to go to third. Third swung at the pitch and missed. Boyer had a good jump. Wilson took a lot of time getting rid of the ball, threw it in the dirt. Bowling tried to get the ball on a short hop. It went off his glove and stopped halfway out to center field. Cletus Boyer easily got up, stormed into third. And now we have a full count on Bob's serve with nobody out. Detroit leading 5-3. Cletus Boyer over at third. The infield is back. Boyer's first stolen base of the year. Here's the payoff pitch. A high pop up to the right side in foul territory. Norm Cash coming in front of the Yankee dugout. And he's got it. And Serve bangs the bat down on the ground as he fouls out to the first baseman. One away, that brings up Bobby Richardson. Bobby pops to first, singled and lined to center. And remember, with Richardson's clutch 2-out single that tied the score in yesterday's ball game in the bottom of the ninth. Now Yost moves in at third. Cash moves in at first, and the infield moves in halfway. Fernandez is short and Bowling at second. And, of course, they've got to be on the alert for a possible squeeze play. Here's the windup by Marcy. The pitch is taken low, ball 1, and Bobby walked up as though to bunt that ball. And the suicide squeeze, sure enough, wasn't on because Boyer didn't break from third. The 1-0 pitch is a curve that's low. Ball 2-0. Tiger infield comes in a little more. They figure with the 2-0 count, this might be the time to put the squeeze on. Here's the windup. The pitch is over. Strike called. 2-1 the count. Hector Lopez in the on-deck circle. Here's the windup. Pitch is strike 2 on the outside corner. No, it hit the end of the bat. As McKinley makes the foul tip sign, rubbing his 2 hands together. He called it a strike and then made the motion. 2-2 on Richardson. Cletus Boyer at third base with one out. The Yankees trailing 5-3. The windup. Pitch is inside. And Wilson and Marcy arguing a little on that play. A mighty close pitch. Bobby started to swing at it, checked it. Full count on Richardson, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Curve popped in the air to left field. Not too deep, but Boyer is tagging. Maxwell's under it. Makes the catch. Here comes Boyer. Here comes the throw. He slides and he's in there. It was a perfect throw. A one-hopper. A perfect throw to Wilson, but Boyer beat the tag. He slid underneath it. Bobby Richardson sacrificed slide, and not too deep left field brings in Cletus Boyer. And it's now a 5-4 ball game with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th, and the batter Hector Lopez, who has walked, sacrificed, and singled 1 for 1. So the throwing error by Red Wilson gives the Yankees a break. Two outs. Pitch to Hector is line to right field. That's in there for base hit. Olavito's up with it. And Hector Lopez lines a single to right field.
WOKO, Albany.
And that big round of applause for Roger Maris. Although Roger is 0 for 3 today, popped a second, fouled out to the catcher, and hit into a fourth play. He's been the big man for the Yankees this year. And the fans appreciate the fact. 2 out, Lopez at second. Ryder Lopez at first base. Pitch to Maris is outside, ball 1. When Hector's got that right field stroke, there's nobody that can hit the ball there better than he can. On deck, Mickey Mantle. Getting a little action in the Tiger bullpen now. Pitch to Maris, outside, ball 2, 2-0. Pitchers have found out this year that there is no breathing space in this Yankee lineup. They got to bear down on every hitter. Two nothing on Roger. Pitch is fouled over towards the Yankee dugout. 2-1 the count. Cash asking for time over at first base. Runs over now to talk with Marcy. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Detroit 5, Yankees 4, bottom of the 6th. Curve is popped in the air. The second baseman, Frank Bowling, moving under it in fair territory, makes the catch. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th, 1 run on 2 base hits. 1 Tiger error, 1 man left to score at the end of 6 full innings. Detroit 5 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. New York 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and we pause for station identification.
Your station for music, news, and sports. This is Quality Modern, WOKO. 1460 on the radio dial. 11 minutes after 4.
And right now, with Gabler ready to go, and Red Wilson stepping into the batter's box, ready to go, is the voice of the Yankees, Mel Allen.
Thanks, Bill. Hello there, everybody. First of the 7th. 5-4 the score in favor of the Tigers. Johnny Gabler in relief of Bob Charlie, ready to pitch to the right-handed batting Red Wilson. Gabler into the windup, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. Bob Charlie in his 6 innings allowed only 5 hits. but 5 runs. 2 of the hits were homers, 1 with 2 aboard. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Now the pitch is outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. We'd like to remind you that we'll be on the air tomorrow at 12:55 from Washington. The ball game's been set back a half hour. The 2-0 pitch now to Wilson. It's in there, strike 1, 2-1. Delivery. Swung on. There's a looping pop. Richardson goes out 4 and short right. Makes the catch. 1 away. Don Mossy coming up. He started out shakily in the first inning, but has grown stronger as the game has progressed. Grounded to short and sacrificed, grounding to Skowron. Gaber's pitch is over for a strike. The 1-strike delivery. Swung on. There's a fly ball into left. Lopez moves under it, makes the catch. 2 down. Now Eddie Yost, who took a 3rd strike, then hit a home run and walked. Tigers 5, Yankees 4. It's the 7th inning. To the windup and the pitch in there. Strike 1, fastball, 0-1. Outfield playing straight away. Gaber to the windup again. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2, 0-2. Two strikes. And the pitch. Curved as low for a ball, 1-2. Could have been a knuckler. Sometimes looks like a curve upstairs, but I think the way it acted the last second was a knuckleball. The 1-2 pitch. Curve outside. 2-2. Look at a crossfire in the motion. The 2-2 delivery. Swung on, line down the left field line, and it's in there for extra bases. Bounces into the stands and becomes a ground rule double for Eddie Yost. His 2nd hit of the afternoon. Homer and a double and 3 charged at bats, and he walked once. And here's Frank Bowling, who changed the game around with 1 swipe of the bat. After striking out in the 1st inning, grounding to 3rd in the 3rd, he had a 3-run homer with 2 out in the 5th inning to put the Tigers out in front 5-3. It is now 5-4. 7th inning. Gaber, in replacement of Turley, delivers to Bowling. It's in there for a strike. Charlie Maxwell on deck. Gaber to the stretch. Here's the pitch. The count high and inside. 1-1. Bowling had to duck away from it. leads off second. The pitch swung on, bounced to third. McDougald takes it, throws on over to Skowron in time. And the side's retired. Ball almost took a bad hop on Gill. Well, it did take a bad hop, but he got his hands over in time to play it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. 10 of 6.5 innings. Tigers 5, the Yankees 4. You know, you can make tonight's dinner extra special just by pouring yourself a glass of cool, golden Ballantine ale. When you enjoy Ballantine ale with one of your favorite meals, its big taste not only refreshes, satisfies you, it makes the good foods you have even more enjoyable. Remember, friends, only Ballantine ale gives you the big taste that comes from Brewer's Gold, a rare strain of hops used exclusively in Ballantine's own true ale recipe. And Brewer's Gold is the reason this great ale makes a delicious drink anytime, but tastes extra good at mealtime. And that's why we say Ballantine ale is more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. So why not try the big taste with, your lunch or dinner real soon. Discover what a difference an ale makes. Ballantine ale with Brewer's Gold. The last half of the 7th inning, 5-4 in favor of Detroit. Mickey Mantle batting 4th in the order. First up, Skowron on deck and McDougald to follow. Mantle's had 2 singles in 3 trips. Struck out his last time up. Left-hander Don Mossy. Been in there all the way for the Tigers, having survived a rough first inning. And he gave up 3 runs. The last one unearned. Into the windup and the pitch to Mantle. Inside, ball 1. He crowded him with a fastball. Yost really guarding that third baseline. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 1-1. A 1-1 count. Mossy to the windup and the pitch. Swung on, the ground ball hits the short. Fernandez up with it. The throw is into the dirt and gets away from Cash. Fernandez had to hurry his throw. The Mantle speeding down the line, and he's charged with an error. An error charged to Fernandez on the throw that bounced by Norm Cash. Mantle seems to have hurt his re-aggravated his injured right knee the first time at bat today. And leaning over there at first base, it's been bothering him. Here's the Moose. Single to center, fly to right, and line to left. Mossy to the stretch, and the pitch. Swung on, little roller, foul off to the left of the plate, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. 4 Detroit, 7th inning. Mossy checks the runner. Throw to first. Mantle is back. Again the stretch. And the pitch is outside. Ball 1. 1-1. Again to his stretch. The pitch swung on and pops in the air in a very short right. Bowling out, Colavito in. Bowling calls for it, makes the catch, and Mantle holds up and goes back to first. Skowron pops to Bowling in short right. Gil McDougald, double to right, single to left, and struck out. Howard on deck. Tigers 5, Yankees 4. It's the last of the 7th. Don Mossy ready to work. And the pitch to Gill is over. Strike one. 0-1. No balls, one strike. Mossy again to the stretch. Mantle moves off first. The pitch is bunted, and here comes Yostin fast. Barehands it, throws to first, just in time to get him on a very close play. A good play by Eddie Yost. Boy, that was a touch-and-go play at first base. McDougal is credited with the sacrifice. Eddie Yost just did get him. Mantle moves to second, 2 outs, and the batter is Elston Howard. Was purposely passed in the first inning, line to left in the third, slide to center in the fifth. Eddie Yost barehanded that ball as he raced in, scooped it up with a throwing hand and fired, and just got Gill on a bang-bang play. Two out in the 7th. 5-4 Detroit. Mantle on second. Elston Howard at bat. Mossy into the stretch, and the pitch to Howard. Backs him away. It's inside. Ball 1. Mantle leads away. Mossy to the stretch. Look around. The pitch. It's inside for a ball. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Mossy getting a sign from Red Wilson. Mantle moves off second. The left-hander ready, and the pitch is over the outside corner. Strike one, 2-1. Mossy working very carefully on Howard. For the tying run in scoring position. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Left-hander to the stretch, looks over at Mantle. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for ball 3. Howard had to jackknife to avoid being hit by that one. A 3-1 count. Three balls, one strike. Two men out. Mossy into the stretch. Mantle leads off second. Here's the pitch, and Howard swings and bounces it foul down the third baseline. Crissetti catching it. Full count now. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He's really been working on Ellie. Mossy has his sign. Mantle moves off second. The stretch, look around, and the 3-2 pitch swung on and foul down the third baseline again. Crissetti taking it, throwing it back to Mossy. Mossy, Howard, and Crissetti have been playing a little game here in the last 2 pitches. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tigers 5, Yankees 4, 7th inning. Mossy ready. And the pitch. Low and inside for ball 4. Howard walks. And the batter is Clete Boyer. third pass that Mossy has given up. Boyer was safe on an error, grounding to Yost in the first inning, flied to right in the third, and then singled in the sixth. Down, Mossy ready. And the pitch to Boyer. Swung on. There's a fly ball to right. Colavito's going back. And the ball is into the stands for a home run by Clete Boyer. Boyer hits the first pitch into the right field stands for a home run. Scoring, Mantle and Howard ahead of him, and the Yankees are back in front, 7-5. The fourth home run hit by Boyer, and his second in a row to right field. Hit one off Ray Herbert to right field. Casey's called Richardson back over to the dugout. And now Bobby is coming out. McKinley is going over to ask Casey what's the delay. And McKinley pointing to somebody in the Yankee dugout. Joe DeMaestri is coming up to bat for Johnny Gabler. Mossy's pitch is inside for a ball. So Clete Boyer comes through with his fourth homer and 17 runs batted in, and it's 7-5 New York, last the seventh. Mossy's next pitch is outside for a ball, 2-0. Boyer's been a pull hitter, and Casey's been trying to get him to learn to hit the right field, and once in a while, lately, he has been. And he rode that outside pitch to right field all the way. 2-0 pitch to DeMaestri. In there for a strike. I was kidding DeMaestri yesterday. How many hits you got this season now? I knew he was nothing for 2. He says, let's put it this way. Let's say that I just came out of my batting slump. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off upstairs. Strike 2, 2-2. Takes Bob Curley off the hook. The 2-2 delivery is a little high, ball 3. He cannot now be charged with a loss, and so is not involved in the decision at all. The 3-2 pitch to DeMaestri. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the side is retired. 3 runs for New York, 1 hit, 1 error, and no one left on. A hand for Boyer as he goes out. At the end of 7 innings, New York 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. 8 men left on. The Tigers 5 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and 3 men left on. From the standpoint of Mossy's pitching record, all the runs are unearned. Bobby Chance is coming in from the bullpen, and that gives you time to go into the kitchen and get some Ballantine ale. If you're looking for a drink that's more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer, try Ballantine ale with Brewer's Gold. It's the genuine. Bobby Chance coming in to pitch now.
in the 8th inning. Gabler worked the 1 inning, gave up 1 hit and no runs. Turley, the first 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 5 runs. Charlie Maxwell leads off in the in the first of the 8th. And Steve Bilko will hit for Norm Cash to get a right-handed hitter up there against Shant. Then Rocky Colavito. Maxwell walked, grounded to first, and popped to short. Bobby Shant making his 18th appearance, a record of 1-1 this season. A little left-hander to the windup, the pitch to Charlie Maxwell, in there for a strike. Bobby has been used exclusively in relief. The second time out against Detroit. Worked against them May 24th. Here's the pitch. High outside for a ball, 1-1. He worked 1 inning against them that day and allowed 1 hit. Eighth inning, Yanks 7, Tigers 5. The 1-1 pitch to Maxwell. Swung on it, missed. Strike 2, 1-2. Both bullpens are busy. Shant's into the windup, and the pitch to Maxwell. Curveball is hit deep to right center. Mantle racing over, and Maris. And Mantle, he can't get it. It's off the scoreboard, and Maxwell's on his way to second. Rounds it on his way to third, and he goes in with a triple. And Maris fell down out there, gets up, limping a little. The ball landed right on top of the auxiliary scoreboard. Maxwell opens with a triple in the 8th inning. And here's Steve Bilko batting for Norm Cash. Charlie Maxwell getting his 3rd triple. He's missed the homer by just a little bit. Big Steve Bilko, right-hand batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball, it misses. Outside, ball 1. Shant's into the windup. The pitch to Bilko is inside. Curveball, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Now the pitch to Bilko is inside, ball 3, 3-0. Rocky Colavito on deck. Into the windup, and the 3-0 pitch. It's in there for strike 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike on Big Bilko, right-hand hitter. Maxwell on third, nobody out in the 8th. The windup and the pitch. It's in there, strike 2, curveball, full count. Bilko hitting 200. Full count on Big Steve. The windup and the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off, and the count remains 3-2. Threw him a screwball and just got it off the tip end of the bat. Full count now. Bilko steps back in a hitting position. Charlie Maxwell, who tripled on third base. Nobody out. Colavito on deck. Chance ready. Swings to the windup. Round comes the left arm. The pitch swung on. It's a high fly down the left field line, curving foul, and it's going out of play. Count remains 3-2. 2 strikes, nobody out. 7-5 New York, 8th inning. Maxwell on third. Chance to the windup. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on it, missed, strike 3. Bilko strikes out. And here now is Rocky Colavito with Al Kaline on deck. Colavito grounded to second, popped out to second twice against right-hand pitching. Steps in. Maxwell on third. 1 out in the 8th. 7-5 New York. Chance to the windup and the pitch to Rocky. Ball 1 just outside. Slow curve. Rocky flexes his back muscles. Steps back into hitting position. He'll be swinging for that equalizer. Here's the pitch. Curve over, strike 1, 1-1. Chance goes to the rosin bag, touches it up, steps back up on the rubber. Elston Howard gives him the sign. Maxwell up the line, the windup. In comes the pitch, and it's inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Another sharp curve. Two balls, 1 strike. Bobby ready to work. Maxwell up the line. Here's the pitch, and Colavito swings and grounds it to short. Boyer, the long throw, gets Colavito as Maxwell scores at 7-6. An RBI for Rocky, his 34th. The ground ball got by, McDougal going to his left. No chance to make a play at the plate. And in fact, Boyer had to make a long throw from deep in the hole to get Colavito. Now Al Kaline grounded to short, single to left, and fly to left. Al Kaline will be ripping. He's been on the upgrade with his hitting, as has Colavito. Chance delivers over the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. The 1-strike pitch. Swung on, bounced toward third. McDougal gloves it, going to his left. Fires on low. Scooped up by the Moose in time. And the side's retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 7.5 innings, New York 7, Detroit 6.
It's got that big take, oh, that Valentine ale with Brewers Gold.
Time Time for a breather right now. Time to open up a cool Ballantine ale with Brewer's Gold to relax and quench your thirst. But after the game, when you want more than a thirst-quenching drink, try this same Ballantine ale with your meals. Discover how big Ballantine ale goes with whatever you're having for dinner. With your meals, you'll find the big taste of Ballantine ale is more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. Try it and see what a difference an ale makes. It's the last half of the 8th inning. It's the top of the New York order. Richardson, Lopez, and Maris. Bilko stays in the game at first base. Don Mossy to the windup, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike one. Richardson fouled out to first, single to left center, fly to center, and hit a sacrifice fly to left. The one-strike pitch swung on is a high one-hopper to Yost to throw to first in time, one away. Hector Lopez is coming to bat. Walk, sacrifice, single to center, single to right. So he's had a perfect game, 2 for 2. Dittmar and Burnside are the scheduled starters for the second game. Yankees 7, Tigers 6. It's the last of the 8th. Don Mossy's delivery. Inside around the letters for a ball. The 1-0 pitch. It's in there, strike one, 1-1. Slow curve. Tigers have Fernandez and Wilson, the first 2 men up in the last of the ninth. And then Mossy, possibly a pinch hitter for him, depending on what happens before. Next pitch is lined out over second in the center for a base hit. Kaline tossing it back into bowling. Lopez lines his third straight single. Now here's Roger Maris, who is hitless, pops to second, foul to the catcher, grounded to second, and pops to second. Last time Lopez faced Mossy on June 23rd, he had 3 out of 4. Today he's had 3 for 3. The pitch swung on and missed, strike one. Roger was trying to pull one into the stand. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 7-6 New York, 8th inning. Mossy to the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Strike 2, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Lopez on first with 1 away. Mossy again to the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on, fouled back upstairs. Count remains 2 strikes. Wilson gives the sign to the left-hander. Mossy into the stretch. Lopez with a short lead. And the delivery. Curveball high and inside. 1-2. Wilson rubs up the cover of the ball before returning it to Mossy. A 1-2 count on Maris. Mossy didn't like the sign, stepped off the rubber, and now he's back on. Into the stretch. Runner leads away from first. And the pitch. He struck out. He swung at it. He tried to check it. McKinley said he struck at the ball. And now Maris is questioning him. But he strikes out. And Mickey Mantle's coming up. 2 away. That's the 4th strikeout for Mossy. Mantle's had 2 for 4, 2 singles, first 2 times up, struck out, and then was safe on a throwing error in the 7th inning, leading off. A throwing error by Fernandez. And then came a walk to Howard and a home run by Boyer, put the Yankees out in front. 7-6 the score. 2 out. Mossy to the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up into the air behind the plate. Wilson under it, has it, and the side's retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 8 innings of play, New York 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 9 left on. Tigers 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and 3 men left on base. The Red Sox got 8 runs in the 7th inning, leading Kansas City 12-2, 10 to 7.5. Wills relieved the lock in the 7th. For Kansas City, Hall, Garber, Larson, and Blemker. Seaburn homing for the A's. Tasby hit a grand slammer for the Red Sox in that 8-run 7th inning. Wirtz hit 1 with 2 on, and earlier Williams hit 1 with 1 on. It is his 506th career homer, his 14th of the season. White Sox and Orioles 1-1, end of 10 innings. Staley relieved score in the 10th. Jack Fisher for Baltimore. Severs in the 7th. Triandis in the 4th homering. Cleveland beat Washington 5-2. Perry beat Bill Fisher. Home runs held Keene, Lemon, and Gardner. Second game, Cleveland leading 7-0, end of 3 innings, getting 6 runs in the 3rd. Briggs and Lee. Romano had a 3-run homer. National League, Giants beat the Phils 11-5. Jones beat Short. Homers, Mays, Alou, Schmidt with 1 on. Taylor and Walters. Los Angeles beat Pittsburgh 6-2. Drysdale beat Mizell. Hodges homered. Cubs 7, Reds 4, end of 7. Hobby for the Cubs. O'Toole for Cincinnati. McLeish and Grimm in relief. Anderson and Post homering for Cincinnati. Santos with 2 on for the Cubs. And the Cardinals lead the Braves. No, they're tied up at 3-3, last of the 9th. Buell and Klein. Homers, Bruton, and 2 for Aaron. Fernandez leading off in the 9th inning. The pitch is in there for a strike. Chico grounded to short, single to left, line to center. New York 7, Detroit 6. Bobby Chance in relief of Gabler, who had relieved Turley. Bobby to the windup, round comes the left arm. The pitch swung on and looped out into short right, and it's in there for the base hit. He just punched it over second, and the Tigers get the lead man on in the 9th inning. Time is called. Fernandez is going to get a runner. Fernandez normally doesn't need a runner, but apparently he hurt himself. Casey Wise going in to run for him. Fernandez has a muscle injury. And Casey Wise is going in to run. Now Red Wilson is the batter. Grounded to short, fouled out to 3rd, and popped to 2nd. McDougald and Chance have gotten together. Red Wilson at bat. Wise on first, nobody out in the 9th, and Johnny Groth is on deck to hit for Mossy. Bobby to the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on. There's the drive. Hits the deep right. But Maris is getting under it near the barrier. Right at the barrier. 1 away. That ball started out like it's going to go all the way. Wilson riding at Screwball, breaking away from a right-hand hitter. And it looked as if it was going all the way until you saw Maris finally stop and get under it right at the barrier. 1 down, and Casey Single's coming out of the dugout now as Johnny Groth comes up. hitting for Mossy. Eddie Yost to follow. Now Casey's talking to Bobby. Wants to see how he is. Casey's trying to decide whether bring in Fisher. He's going to leave Chance with it. Johnny Gross, 3 for 11, hitting .273. 1 on and 1 out now in the ninth. Yanks 7, Tigers 6. Gross bats him right-handed. Bobby to the stretch. Check of the runner and the pitch. Swung on it, missed. Strike one. Sharp curve. Gross was really wheeling. Again, the stretch by Chance. Wise moves away. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit foul down the left field line. Ball going into the mezzanine. Strike 2, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Chance into the stretch. Wise leads away from first. Here's the pitch, and Johnny Gross takes a screwball way outside. Almost a wild pitch. Howard had to backhand the ball, breaking off to the right of the plate. 1-2. Bobby again to the stretch. Wise moves off first. Here's the pitch, and Gross takes it outside. Ball 2. Slow curve. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Again the stretch. And the pitch to Gross. High. Ball 3 now. Full count. 0-2. And now the count's run to 3-2. Bobby's trying to put a little extra on those last 3 pitches, and they were nowhere near the plate. Casey Wise on first with 1 out. May be traveling. Full count on Gross. The stretch, Wise leads away, and the pitch. It's just outside for ball 4. Down to second goes Wise. Gross walks. Casey's out of the dugout. Howard and Chance picked on the pitch. But it's ball 4. Now the Tigers have 2 men on, 1 out, and Casey's out of the dugout. That means Chance, of course, automatically out now. Bobby came on in the 8th inning and pitched 1 1/3 innings, allowing 2 hits. Walked 1, struck out 1. And, of course, the runners are his responsibility. Bobby departs. Well, I tell you, we've had some struggles here yesterday and today. Johnny James is coming in. Jimmy Dykes is countering the change of pitchers by sending up Neil Chrisley, the power-hitting left-handed batter, to hit for Eddie Yost. Johnny James making his 22nd appearance. He worked 1 inning against the Tigers yesterday, gave up 2 hits and 1 run. Neil Chrisley will bat for Yost. Chrisley hitting .258. Casey Wise on second, running for Fernandez. And Gross, who batted for Mossy and drew a walk, on first base. Mantle and Maris throwing the ball back and forth in the outfield. The White Sox got a run in the 11th inning to beat Baltimore 2-1. Staley in relief of Score got the win. Jack Fisher all the way, the loser. Neil Cresley comes up to bat for Eddie Yost. With Wise and Groth aboard. 1 out. 9th inning. Yanks 7, Tigers 6. James to the stretch. And the pitch. Outside, ball 1. James sets. Here's the pitch. It's in there. Strike 1, 1-1. Yankees led 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. Then it was 5-3 Detroit, 5-4. Then 7-5, then 7-6. And that's where we are right now with Wise on second, Groth on first, and 1 out in the 9th inning. Chrisley batting for Yost. Johnny James ready, delivers, and it's low, ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Johnny James getting set. Runners lead away. Here's the pitch to Chrisley. Swung on line to right field for a base hit. Roger Maris cut loose a perfect throw from deep right field on the line and never hit the ground. And Casey Wise is thrown out at the plate on Neil Chrisley's pinch hit single to right. Groth stopping at second. And now Casey's out of the dugout. Boy, what a clutch throw. One of the finest throws you've ever seen. And he had him out with something to spare, considering plays at the plate. And with Frank Bowling coming up, Casey's bringing in another pitcher. Roger Maris, who went hitless in his 5 times at bat, charged that ground ball and cut loose with a low line throw all the way into Howard. And Wise was cut down at the plate. 2 down and 2 on. So Duran's taking his warm-up tosses. One of them bounces away from Howard. A couple of his pitches there and wants a new ball to throw. With 2 men on base and Charlie Maxwell due up next, I guess wildness is not something we could afford at a time like this. And still Wild with his fastball that tails into the hitter. Frank Bowling steps in. He took a 3rd strike, grounded to 3rd, hit a 3-run homer off Curley and grounded to 3rd. Johnny Groth on 2nd, Neil Chrisley on 1st, 2 outs in the 9th. Yanks 7, Tigers 6. Runners lead away, turn into the stretch. And the pitch. High, ball 1. That ball failed. 1 ball, no strikes. One ball, no strikes. Groth leads off 2nd, Chrisley off 1st. Duran into the stretch. And the pitch. It's outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 out, and a 2-0 count on Frank Bowling. Howard returns to the plate. Duran checks with him. Into the stretch now. Runners lead away. And the 2-0 pitch. In there, strike one, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bowling standing up there, ready. Gross moves off second. Presley off first. Duran into the stretch. Looks around. And the pitch. Outside, ball 3, 3-1. He didn't miss the corner much. Wasn't very wild with that one, but enough, and it's a 3-1 count. Now, I don't know what Jimmy Dax will do here, whether he puts the take sign on or not. What Charlie Maxwell do up next. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners lead away from first and second. And the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 call. Full count. So we're down to the position where we keep going or don't go anymore. Growth and Chrisley will be off and running with the pitch. Full count, 2 out. Yanks 7, Tigers 6, 9th inning. The stretch by Duran. Runners ready to go. Here they go, and the pitch is outside. Ball 4, and they're loaded up. And here's Charlie Maxwell coming up. One almost knew it had to come to this. Groth to third, Chrisley to second, Bowling to first, and the batter, Charlie Maxwell, who walks, grounded to first, pops to short, and triples to right center. Three men aboard and 2 out in the 9th inning. Charlie Maxwell digs in. The windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Whichever way the ball game goes, the crowd is loving it. Groth on third. Chrisley on second. Bowling on first. Charlie Maxwell up there. The windup, 3 men lead away. The pitch, and Maxwell takes it low for a ball. 1-1. Laid off the sinker. One ball, 1 strike. Time call for a moment. Runners lead away. The windup. The pitch to Maxwell. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Groth and Chrisley and Bowling leading away from third, second, and first. Duran getting the sign to the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Coming back towards the screen, and Howard cannot get it. It's up onto the screen, just inches. Howard was right back to the screen. The ball missing the screen by a couple of inches, and it's a 2-2 count. So the tension is still here. Fingernail biting time at Yankee Stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3 men on, 9th inning, Yanks 7, Tigers 6. Kieran pitching to Charlie Maxwell. Gets the sign, the crowd beginning to roar. Gross, Chrisley, and Bowling leading away. The windup, around comes the right arm, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3, and it's all over. The Yankees win it 7-6. Ryan Duran stayed with them. And the man in right field, Roger Maris, made the great throw. Now let's see. Umpires are figuring the start of the next game will be about 5:40. Whoa, another one. No run, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on. Tigers had 2 singles and 2 walks in the 9th inning. A great clutch throw by Roger Maris, knocking off the tying run, and then Duran, after walking the first man he faced to load the bases, strikes out Charlie Maxwell. So the total, the Yankees 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Tigers 6 runs, 9 hits, and 3 errors. Don Mossy all the way. The loser, the winning pitcher is Johnny Gabler. Gabler, a record of 3-3. Mossy now a record of 5-6. Well, while you catch your breath after that exciting ball game, we'll give you about 20 minutes back with your individual stations while you talk that one over. Boy, there was more action in that ball game than you might find in a half a dozen other ones. A real crowd pleaser that had everybody on the edge of their seats until Smokey Maxwell struck out to end the ball game. Now the Yankees have won 2 thrillers from Detroit yesterday and then today. An uphill battle, pulling it out with 3 runs in the 7th, and the standout today was Cletus Boyer, the shortstop, who turned in some brilliant defensive plays, and then came through with the 3-run home run in the 7th inning that actually was the measure of victory. So we'll have another one for you in about 20 minutes. Stick around, and who knows what may happen in that second one.